Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so just going to make sure that everything's okay. Oh, I can hear myself. Professional. Okay, can you guys let me know if the audio is okay? The music should be alright, I've not tested it as of yet, so it will be interesting to see. How you doing there, Krupp? Good to have you, my friend. I'm excited too. I've got like a little bit of blue tack, and see, I've always had a little bit of blue tack to just roll around in my hand, because it's a good sort of... It was my fidget spinner before a fidget spinner, with none of the associated influences that come from fidget spinners. Voice is a bit low. Okay. Let me go ahead and move that a little bit closer, I guess. Voice is low. Interesting. It should be fine. It's looking good on my side. I am kind of looking right into the mic, so it should be okay. Oh, right. Okay. If it's a little bit low, then maybe just like turn it up a little bit. I know that sounds kind of lame. How are you guys doing then? Oh wow, so one of the East 2, my god, I've been nagging Slivering Games about this game for a long time. I even developed memes to nag them. So, they know I've been nagging for a long time, and it's finally here. I'm so happy. The only unfortunate thing is I did have university classes here today, so I've not had much chance to go through the manual, but I love that. This is how I play. I tend to go through everything. So we're going to go through things, we're going to explore it, because I'm very excited for that. So yes, we're going to get right into it, but first I'm going to go ahead and take a look through the options here, first and foremost, just to show you guys what I'm going to be doing. Of course, we're going to be playing as the Axis, because, obviously. Now, I have these activated here. I'm going to leave things on normal. I'm not too sure how the game will play in terms of difficulty as opposed to one of the East and one of the West, so we'll have to find that one out. I'm going to have the enhanced player theatre box control. I have the automate AI air assistant. Now, I believe I have to manually activate this, so that's just there if I wish to have it, just to speed things up, so we'll go with that. And just got the preferences like this at the moment so you guys can see. Now, we do have a number of actual scenarios here. I bet you guys can guess which one I'm going to go for. But you can see that we will have a couple scenarios here to play with. I do have to point out I am using a beta version, so there may be potentially bugs, but we're going to work through them. As far as I'm aware, I've not encountered any as of yet in the small time I've actually had the game, so bear that in mind. But in case they are, beta is beta, and of course these will be fixed prior to release then. So we do have the 1941 campaign, we have the introductory scenario, Road to Minsk, which is always fun, I remember that one. The Red God of War, Road to Leningrad, Stalingrad to Berlin, the destruction of the southwestern front, the Vistula to Berlin, and then we have Veliki Luki. I'm mispronunciating that, but you'll have to live with it. Red Army Resurgent, 42 to 43, and Operation Typhoon 41. Looking very good there. So we are going to go ahead and play the Grand Campaign, because I think it's always best to actually take a look at the Grand Campaign to just see it all. I like to see it all, which is always a good thing here. So let's see then, the historical overview. Germany's Axis allies embarked on a blitzkrieg campaign to destroy the Soviet Union, only to be stopped at the proverbial gates of Moscow. 3.5 more years of bloody combat will follow before the hammer and sickle flies over the Brandenburg Gate. Okay, so destroy the Red Army and decisively seize Moscow, Leningrad and Rostov before the end of 1941. So we do actually have victory conditions. It's actually really quite interesting here. I mean, there's always been victory conditions, but we get to see them in a different way, and it's really nice. So here we are, we're going to start, and we're just not going to change the view at this stage. We are going to go through things here, and we're just going to take a look around and just get a sense of where we are. But the map is actually really improved. I'm genuinely quite impressed by the map. It's actually very, very nice, actually. Very nice. I do like it. I do hope you guys are following. It's looking good so far, so that's excellent. Whoops, I didn't mean to scroll over that way. Okay. Hopefully the music should be fine. I may have to turn down the scroll speed, but it's okay. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier. We have the Axis Initiative, so this is what we're looking at right now. So we can see the victory points here. And there will be the high watermark, which is going to be really interesting. So we have a lot of really interesting aspects here to take a look at. But no, I do agree there, Jack. The map does look really quite nice, actually. I've read, what did I get to in the manual? I got to about page, maybe 20. It was some while after the actual, tell you what's on each page. But it's okay. I like these situations. And in fairness, if you have played one of the East and played one of the West, you're probably going to be able to pick up the game fairly quickly. It's really just quite vastly improved. It does feel better. It does feel more responsive in a way, and it just feels better so far. As I said, this is my first impression as well, so this is actually really fun. It's nice to be able to do something like this for the first time for us both. Okay. We'll have to take a look at that. Their map is actually larger, which is something I'm aware of. The actual frontage is a little bit longer in terms of hexes. So we do have more detail there, which is actually quite nice. And I believe you notice it most around here. This, it does definitely seem to be different. We do seem to have... It is a larger map, and you can see differences in the actual detail, especially around this area of East Prussia and Lithuania. So what we're going to go ahead and do here then is my favourite. So if I go ahead and press N... Okay, this is what I love. So this actual... Yes, when you press N over here, you see the logistics network essentially. So this is what you would see in Wander West. So you'd see essentially the road and rail networks. Now, we do have an introduction of the road networks in Wander East 2, and now this is something I'm unfamiliar with as of this moment in time, but we'll quickly pick it up. We'll quickly pick it up. Music is nice. I'm not playing soundtracks. I usually do. I speak very bad Japanese. Very bad. Let's see. Could you turn off the hexes? Sure, I'll take a look at that. Let me go ahead and figure out how I do that. Let's see, we do have a lot of new icons actually, which is quite nice. Let me see what I can do here about that. I'm going to turn the logistics off for now. Picture locations, turn that off. Let's see. Hotkeys. I've not learned these as of yet. So let's see, can we turn the actual hexes off? I think that might have been what you were looking for anyway. So we'll zoom out a little bit. I know I said I wouldn't, but we'll do that. Now, what I want you guys to notice is the fact that we do have Western Europe here on the map as well, which is actually really intriguing. The map is really quite large. It does make you wonder what they will do with it in the future, actually. Especially as we do have areas modelled here. I don't know if it'll ever become playable, but it looks pretty fantastic. But yes, you can see the sheer scale of the map is actually really impressive. What's nice is we don't just have a solid wall here, essentially, of reinforcements moving. We actually do see Western Europe now, which is a lot of fun. The one thing I do miss is being able to, like, scroll by, move the camera by right-click. I kind of can. I'm just, like, a little bit lazy, but I do like to have all the additional information here. But what I do like is the fact that we actually do have all the different air groups over here. So we can see Luftflotte over here. If I go ahead and click on that, we can actually see all the different airfields, I believe, in here as well. So if I go ahead, yes, we have different airfields over here, different air bases, I should say. The detail is phenomenal, and it just feels so good. I mean, this is it. If somebody said to you, how would you improve Wander East? I wouldn't have suggested this because I wouldn't have imagined this being a possibility, but it looks so good. It feels so modern. Yeah, the UI does look quite nice. Hey, Denarvoken, good to have you, my friend. Good to have you. Okay, so what we're going to do then is we're going to go ahead and put the map information back on here. So let's see. Oh, I can toggle the units off the map actually, so we'll go ahead and do that. And the map does look really quite nice. I will be very interested to see what modders might be able to do with it actually in the future, because it does look genuinely quite good. I think this is probably the best looking vanilla map, so I'm pretty damn impressed actually. I imagine you guys are too. Right, okay. Get these back on. Fort levels is always useful. There's a lot of things that really are familiar reminders of the past games, and this is it. It's not an entirely new game. It's definitely built upon the foundations of the previous two, and you can feel that. But you can definitely see that there is improvements here. Quite happy about that. Okay, so what we're going to do then is we are going to have to get an idea of the situation that we find ourselves in. It's going to be some while. If you guys have ever seen one of my streams, you should know that I usually spend about 2 hours talking about random stuff before actually making a single move. I'm going to try to do a little bit better than that, but due to the nature of this game, and due to the fact that I'm so excited to play, and I'm sure you guys are as well, we're going to really go through and try to see as much as we can. If you guys are like me, you'd like to see every aspect of the game, like, yes, okay, I'm going to enjoy that. If you guys have ever seen Futurama, think of Hedonism Bot, and it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that in a way. I can't explain how it's like that, but it's like that. But what I do like over here is the event system. I'm not too familiar with how the event system works as of yet, but I do know there will be choices as far as I'm aware, so it will be very interesting. But the events is going to be really quite intriguing. Yes, we will take a look at that Parmentier. I know you're always going to look at that. We'll take a look at that shortly. And it reminds me of a War Pacific stream. Can we see aircraft and ship losses? Yeah, I don't think I probably will there, Crop. There's a lot to take a look at, actually. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We definitely will there, Purge. We'll get through it all. I knew you guys like that. So, on the 22nd of June 1941, the invasion of the Soviet Union began, opening up the Eastern Front and committing Germany to a two-front war. The Axis powers offensive invaded along a 2,900-kilometer front that stretched from the Arctic Ocean in the north to the Black Sea in the south. So the greatest invasion force ever known to mankind, around 3.8 million men, supported by around 600,000 vehicles and 600 horses. At the start of the invasion, the Red Army was... Oh, I've scrambled down. The Red Army was in the process of reorganisation and modernisation. Its capabilities were greatly reduced from the purchase of the 1930s, strongly affecting the quality of the officers' corps. Moreover, the standard and morale of the Red Army had been shaken as a result of the Winter War with Finland. On the other hand, after the successful campaign that had brought Europe to its knees, the German Wehrmacht had consolidated itself as an experienced army with good training, organisation and excellent officer corps. Okay, we're going to start by taking a look at the order of battle then. That's a good place to start. And you can see it actually has been changed, and I do like this. And what I find rather fascinating is that we do have the assault headquarters over here, which is going to be really quite interesting. Now, I read it in Japanese. I could read parts of it in Japanese, but don't do that to me, man. Don't do that to me. Maybe in a few years. Maybe in a few years. Oh, okay, flashbacks now. Vietnam flashbacks. But a few years there. Yes, the event system will be quite interesting. I mean, this is a good question there, Knight. There are lots of differences. It's a lot of improvements so far. A big difference is going to be preparation points for units as well. And we'll get onto that. It's going to be really interesting. It's going to really change how the game works in a number of ways, actually. The big change is going to be obviously logistics. Obviously having the logistics really represented in a much more granular fashion is going to be quite good. And I think with it being more granular, obviously more complex, but more granular, is that we will, in theory, have more control over that, which is going to be very good. Not too sure about the offensive build-up, we'll have to take a look at that. So, let's see. We have the assault headquarters over here. I'm not too sure what the assault headquarters actually means as of yet. I wish I could have had more time to take a look at the manual, but classes kept me busy, man. As we do have Oberkommando der Heer, I think it is. So we can see that we have Army Group Center, North and South over here. And I do like the breakdowns over here. It reminds me very much of the Commander's Report. It's still very similar to the original one, the East, but it is improved, which is quite nice. And now if we take a look over here, we can have it broken down. The game just feels a hell of a lot more responsive, really. Which makes sense. It's more modern. Had a lot more love into it. Looking very nice. So what we're going to do then is just take a look at the air bases over here. So we can actually see what we have at the actual air bases, which is actually really quite interesting. And this is going to be something that we'll have to take a closer look into, but we also see we have artillery pieces over here. So I would assume AA. Now that's obviously going to be something of pretty great import later on down the line. As for how much 19 guns makes in terms of difference, who knows, but I'd imagine having many would be good. You can imagine that cities like Berlin will probably have quite a lot of AA in the future, so that's going to be intriguing. And then we do have the theatre boxes over here, which is going to be a lot of fun. So we have 2.7 million men in the theatres, 23,590 guns, 1,700 tanks there, 1,770, 1,351 fighters, 1,600 bombers, and 1,000 utility aircraft. So if we take a look at the actual theatre boxes, we can see what we have deployed in Western Europe, Italy, North Africa, Norway, the Balkans, Finland, in our Axis Reserve, and the Soviet Union garrison over here, which is going to be quite good. No longer will we play partisan whack-a-mole, which would be quite nice. Makes things a lot smoother, really. If we take a look over here to Western Europe, now we do see men assigned to the different armies over here, to the different headquarters. We do see that we have a 2nd Panzer Division, the 5th Panzer Division. Now, I do have enhanced theatre box control, so I think in theory we would be able to actually bring troops back from these theatres if we so wish to do so. And there's a lot over here. I mean, having access to support units would be very good. I mean, for example, we see all these constructions. Well, we see the Stug battery, which is very nice. That would be great to bring back. Troops only 6 Stugs, but still Stugs are Stugs. Stugs are very good. You can see that we do have a Panzer regiments over here. At this moment in time, Flak regiments, quite a lot to work with. We do have Hochschuljäger as well, which is intriguing. So, there we go. We're going to move on then to another aspect. Now, there is... Whereabouts is it? There is a button here to see the theatres. I'm trying to remember where I saw it now. It's here somewhere. Right now, by the way, we're in the air planning phase, so bear that one in mind. It's not order of battle. It's on here somewhere, I believe. Where are we? Not there. No, not that one. There's another way to look at the theatres. Oh, yes, the map modes. Here we go. Yes, so this is fantastic. We do have the actual theatre boxes represented here. So we can see exactly what we have. And this is where it gets really intriguing. I'm not too sure what the colours actually mean as of yet. It's going to be really fun to find out. I'm actually really quite excited to find out what all this is going to mean eventually. But we can see exactly what we have here then. So we have fighter bombers, we have our night fighters, level bombers, reconnaissance, transport, and patrols. But it's really good to see that. So if I click on this Dornier 172-2 unit over here then, so we can see the details of, and it's almost like going back to War in the East, sorry, War in the West now. We can see this. We can actually change the loadout of the aircraft here, which is actually really cool. This is what I've wanted for a long time, is to be able to play War in the East, but with War in the West mechanics. And this is pretty fantastic. Liking this so far. So we do have a lot of control here. I'm liking that so far. So what I can do then is, whoops, not zoom in there. We can take a look over here. So access reserves then. In our access reserves, we don't actually have too much right now. I imagine we will have units arrive into the reserves, or I may be able to move units from the theatre into reserves. You can see that we do have a Führer Begleit infantry battalion over here, which is currently only 665 men, though they do have some armoured vehicles here. So they actually do have some Panzer 2As and some Panzer 38Ts. Let's take a look at the Panzer 2A. Looking pretty fantastic. Good old tonky tonk. So we have that there. So we do have a lot to play with here. The UI is really, really quite spectacular. The interesting aspect is going to be figuring out how we manage this. So we are going to have to manage the Soviet Union garrison, and that will require assigning men to obviously garrison the Soviet Union. Lo and behold, you wouldn't think it would you with that name. So we're going to figure out how we have to do that, how we're going to manage that, I should say. In Italy, because we do have the Italian army as well, and we can see that there is 354,000 men here. If I move down to North Africa, I believe what I could do here is just click on these guys, I'll just take you there. So if I click on Norway, we can see Norway. If I click on Finland, we can see Finland. If we click to the reserve, we go to reserve. Garrison theatre. We do have the Africa theatre box over here, so we can see we have 156,000 men over here in the African theatre, the Italian theatre, and the Balkans theatre. Really quite nice. Yeah, I know, this is it, Parmentier. Being able to choose that is going to be really quite nice. Being able to take command and control of your aircraft like that is going to be quite fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing how the game will develop, and I can't wait to see what modders could potentially do with this bad boy. This is looking very interesting. So, we've looked at the table of equipment. We've looked at the order of battle. We are going to go ahead and take a look at the production. What I've been up to. What I've been up to today has been just like speaking very poor Japanese, actually, because I do have those uni classes. I was like reading through the manual, and then I got about 20 pages and I'm like, it's okay, I'll figure it out. Okay. Now, when it comes to production, I'm not too sure how we can affect it as of yet. I can't recall if this is right or not. I do have to read into the manual. I believe that we do have some control, or more control over production versus the order titles, which is actually really quite interesting. I'm going to show you here, because we have the factory navigation panel here. And what I love is the fact we actually see our factories. That looks fantastic. Absolutely goddamn fantastic. Look at that. I can't zoom out anymore, but I'm going to try and show you. It looks so good. So we can actually see the factories here. And this is what's going to be great. This is what is going to be very exciting. And I love the music of this game, by the way. But yes, we can see the factories here that we actually do control at this moment in time. We can actually see our production over here as well. And I can go ahead and minimize these. So we can take a look at where we have the heavy industry. And we can see that production actually take place. We can see the armaments production over here. Vehicle production. There we go. And we can see that will change as well. So over here then, in 109 turns, this actual particular production facility over here, Cottbus, will actually change to producing the SDKFZ-10 chassis, which is going to be very important. Bear in mind, big chassis. Sorry, the music's a little bit loud. Let me go ahead and just turn that down ever so slightly. Sorry. Gomenasai. Sumimasen. Let's see. Music. There we go. Right. So we're going to go back up over here to ground chassis. Now, this is where I believe we may be able to actually affect it. I'm not too sure, so don't take my word as of yet. The manual is quite large, and I've not had a chance to actually read through the production section as of yet, but I will be doing so. But what we can see over here is we have the Panzer II chassis, we have the Panzer 38T chassis, the Panzer III, and so on and so forth. Now, what I can do here, and you can see these are future chassis over here as well, which is actually really quite exciting. I believe, if I recall correctly, that we are able to potentially alter production somewhat. So if we have Panzer IV chassis, we might be able to have them converted over to, I don't know, like a Panzer IV. But I'm not too sure, so bear that one in mind. I'm going to have to do the reading to find that one out here. But it's looking pretty good, actually. So you can see all the future vehicles that will be coming up, what they'll be having. We also see the Italian production over here as well. So if we take a look then, we have currently in production right now the Panzer II, the Panzer 48T, the Panzer III, 4, the SDKFCs over here as well, and so on and so forth. We can see that that will be changing. So the Panzer III production over here, then, so you can see to type Panzer 5, yep. Is that the Panther or Tiger? Panther... Oh, King Tiger's Panzer 6, isn't it? Is Tiger... or is it 7? No, I think King Tiger's Panzer 7, isn't it? Yeah, Panther is 5. Oh, Tiger is 6. Right, got it. I knew it was something around that. That's it. You guys are like, yeah. Yep. So I'm hoping that we will be able to affect this, because it'd be really quite interesting to actually say, right, okay, let's change production of X chassis towards this variation of it, which would be quite interesting. It'd be very intriguing to be able to take the Stugs, for example, and potentially be able to produce more of them and see what we could do with that. That'd be intriguing. Yeah, the Leopard is 7. I wish we could have some Leopards, that'd be great. Okay. So, I'm not as familiar with the production as of yet, but you can see just how in detail it gets. And what I can do is actually go to the information screens. So we're going to go to, not this one, but that is our metrics. I'm looking for... so that's logistics, not the one I'm looking for right now. Not that one. Not that one either, but that's good to know where the events are. Whereabouts is it? It's here somewhere. Maybe it's under factory management. I'm trying to remember when I saw it now. Maybe I'm just looking in the wrong location. Let me find it. Apologies about this, guys. Obviously, I've not had too much time to get familiar with the actual game, so I'm trying to figure out where it is now. Is it logistics? No, it's not there. Factory location? No. It's here somewhere. You guys are going to love it when I find it. When I find it, you're going to love it. Right, order of battle. Is it under production? Ah, here we go. Production chart. This is awesome. This is really nice. It's so good. It's so good to be able to see this information. What I'm going to do is actually have the scaling off over here, so we can see things a little bit more clearly. So we can see over here some resource need. So we can actually see our requirement for resources. So you can see that we have a heavy industry. So this is, yeah, the resources. So heavy industry requires a great deal of that. We do see our resources used, obviously, because we haven't actually moved into the next turn. We don't see a lot of these numbers as of yet. We can see our resource store, so we can see that we have 5 million resources in pool, and we have 21,000 in the actual cities. We see our requirement for oil and our storage. We see our supply needs. So you can see here, ammo units, supply units, factory upkeep, other. We have our supply store, so we have quite a lot there. So 2.9 million in the cities, 1.5 million in the pool, and our fuel requirement. So you can see the factory upkeep and fuel units. You can see actually there's a lot that goes towards the upkeep of units. Quite a lot there. Fuel production, fuel store, so a lot here. This is really awesome, I like this. It really does help out quite a lot. Yeah, inbuilt tracker. Avoken's like, oh my god. I was really impressed when I saw it as well. Really impressed when I saw that. Now, what I can do here then is, this is quite familiar. You guys will be able to recognize this, the actual controls over here as they were. Looking very nice. Gonna have to figure out how we can alter production. I really do hope we can actually change production around, but I could be wrong. We'll find out. So what I can do here then is actually go to, let me go back and read that again, to ground element. By the way, I love these pictures. These pictures are great, especially because it is a Stug there. Now, if I take a look at this one over here, ground element. So, what I can do here then, let me find something... Okay, let's take the rifle squad over here. So you can see that we have 209 units. These guys are not on refit right now. We see how many is ready. We see obviously what they are right now, manpower, etc. So what I can do then is, let's see, foreign tanks, maybe? I think, yes, okay, we have foreign tanks, foreign armoured car. Where's a foreign tank? I might have scrolled plastic because I'm blind as a bat. I am indeed blind as bad. I know it's here somewhere. But I'm going to be looking for super heavy artillery shortly. So that's always great. That's always where you want to be. Let's see. Foreign armored car, light armored car. I'm so blind, but I found super heavy, so that's good. Let's see. Foreign light tanks, foreign medium tanks. There we go. It was right there. Okay. So if I take a look over here then at foreign medium tanks. So we can actually go ahead here and actually see. I don't know if there's a way to sort. Maybe there is and I just don't know about it yet. I've not seen any buttons here immediately. But I might be blind. So anyway, we can see that we do have the Panzer 35 over here, which is fantastic. We can actually see where we have them, when it's come from. Refit over here. So obviously if we had numbers, I think this would be an indication of like how many we can refit. We have 85 of these guys in the pool. Obviously we're not building them because they're foreign builds. Obviously, well, they're captured, aren't they? And if we can take a look over here. 203rd Panzer Regiment. Yeah, we can see that we do have a little French tanks over here. Looking pretty fantastic. The interesting thing is it opened up over here, so we can actually see that this is the Western European garrison. And that looks amazing. I'm so impressed so far. Let's go ahead. Oh, hello, we have a Stuggy unit over here then. Right, what's the TOE? Oh, it's actually a full TOE, okay. A Stug battery, okay, that makes sense. Now, if I wanted to, I could potentially have that transferred. So we can have it transferred map. I'm not too sure what that means as of yet. Maybe that transfers into... Oh, okay. So I could have it transferred to... to map. So I think that's like... I don't know where that would come out, but it would probably come out somewhere. But I could have that transferred to reserves. So what I will do is actually have that order transferred to reserves. That's good. That's good, yeah. Okay. So... That's going back to the theatre here. I'm going to go ahead and move through a little bit more. Now, metrics is pretty good. Now, what's interesting is we do have our victory points over here. We have the initiative layer, which is going to be intriguing. So I believe, obviously, if we're still on the offensive, we retain the initiative. Obviously, if we're pushed onto the back foot, then the Axis will... Sorry, the Soviets will have the initiative. We have our high water mark. So currently, the high water mark is 370 points. Obviously, we have that going over here. And we'll eventually get to a point where, yes, that's it. We go no further unless we're absolutely just walking over the Soviets, which is not exactly going to be likely. Sudden death victory points. As we can see, our other battles, so let's see, total men is looking pretty good for us right now. That's going to be changing pretty soon. Total guns. The Soviets have quite a decent amount of AFVs, but they're not always fantastic. Then obviously men on the map, guns on the map, so on and so forth. Production... obviously things will look different as we move into the different turns, so quick look at that. The weather is looking pretty fantastic. I find getting good games a bit simple. Can they make it more complex? I like that Miss Medieval, that is truly savage. Oh my god, it's sorry, it's 5 o'clock. Okay, good, I've still got time, I was hoping, and I was kind of expecting to see like an hour gone by. As we do have our dominating weather table making a return over here, which is pretty fantastic. We can actually really see what to expect in the future, which is going to be quite good. Let's go back to that. So we have our weather on the ground right now. So you can see the weather on the ground is clear. We do have over here in the Baltic some mud, but that's to be expected. Sweden's not looking great right now. Weather in the air, so we do have this big band of rain over here. Our climate zones, so we can see exactly what we're working with here. And then we have our road system. Now, this shows you the difference between Western Europe and Eastern Europe. Roads do tend to drop off quite dramatically the deeper into the Soviet Union we go. So we are going to have to essentially utilize the Russian logistical system, the Russian road system. It reminds me of almost like capillaries, of veins almost. This is where we're going to be moving. We'll have to bear that in mind. Can't go below 90% of forces transferred. Don't know what that means yet, but I'll have to take a look at that. Okay, moving on. So we do have our reinforcements, which is actually being overhauled and is looking really, really quite nice. I believe we can actually go ahead and sort on here, which is actually quite nice. I'm liking that so far. Let's see, so I can sort by turn. Okay, from turn 202. Right, okay. Let me go ahead and clear all filters. There we are. So that is if they were coming from reinforcements transfer. So we can take a look at the units, take a look at the air groups, we can take a look at the AOG, which is Air Operational Group Reinforcements and Transfers. And this is Air Group Reinforcements and Transfers, which is interesting. Big distinction. Okay, so we can see our type over here. So we can see that we have our 227th Stug Battery, which, if I recall, is the one that we transferred from Western Europe. So you can see how this works. It's definitely a lot better to work with. Before we just had, essentially, our will arrive on this turn. So this is a lot better. We have a lot more detail here. We can see, obviously, where they're going to arrive. We did have that before. I believe we could potentially change where they arrive. Or change that. I'm not too sure. I do like this. It's looking great. I don't know if I can change that. Maybe I can't change that. Oh, no. Location. Interesting. So that would move to... so they would be transferred to Western Europe. I could say, no, do not transfer to Western Europe, which is actually really handy. So we can actually change, and we have a lot more to work with there. Yeah, so motorized machine gun battalion, we could say, right, you're not going to go to Norway, you're going to instead go to the Soviet Union. Enjoy that. Looking pretty good then so far. Yeah, my first impression is very casual. Now, as Melancholic Resistance there says, that's what I enjoy as well. I do like that aspect. So, we're nearly there now. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the commander's report, which is looking good. I believe we can... yeah, quite happy. It's like a cleaned up version of the commander's report from previous games, which is pretty good, as you would expect. Looking very nice. We are going to be starting doing gameplay things shortly enough. Just going through here. The air is going to be interesting. Now, this is going to be something very familiar to Wander West players. So we do have the ability here to sort our air doctrine, so this is like a good way to do things all at once, essentially, to really... you can get in here and do quite a lot. So obviously for the La Flotte over here, we can see our... essentially, this is going to be what the aircraft will do, what the actual crews will do with these aircraft. So for example, you can set their altitude, so obviously they will fly at this altitude when performing X mission. So that's essentially how that works. Really quite good in that way. Okay. Right, being Pretzel's game, indeed. Indeed. You get VP for transferring forces to other fronts. Oh, okay. I didn't know about that. That's cool. Again, I've not had a chance to really learn about the game as such, so this is like a first impression for myself and a first impression for you guys. If it sounds like I'm talking a lot and that means I know what I'm doing, then I'm probably doing a good job at acting. Anyhow, so we have our air directed screen over here, so we can see exactly what each and every one of these are doing, which is good. We can see what they're going to be flying, the altitudes they're going to be flying. Now, notice we do have a lot of ground attack, ground support. We do need to go ahead and actually set up the air field bombing campaign, which is going to be really quite important. We do need to try to knock out as much of the Red Air Force as we can on the first turn, which is going to be great. So again, there now. So we have our theatre box, which we've seen, which is quite nice, very handy. We have our victory screen, which is looking pretty fantastic, actually. I do like the actual, just detail. The polish is really quite nice. Okay, so initiative player, initiative switch check dates, which is very interesting, actually. So we'll be able to know at what point the war essentially changed. At what point the wind started blowing in a different direction, which is really intriguing. So we see our sudden victory... so sudden death victory levels, which is great when they're checked, what turn that is. There's a lot of information here that makes it much easier to work with. Our bonuses, so I don't have anything there. Events is intriguing. Okay. Then a Wikipedia. I'm not going to use that one as yet, in case it takes us off. So we have just the one event here at the moment, and we have our turn summary, which is this over here. So we can see then logistics, we can see our order of battle changes, I believe, so essentially what would arrive on that turn, so on and so forth, what we've lost, and etc. So there's a lot of information there to work with, and essentially, rather than having to go into like multiple screens, we're able to see things in one area, really. So supply alerts, so don't show that. Strength alerts, we'll have to see about that. Now, yep, I can go straight there to the victory screen. That one will take me straight to the reinforcements. Now, what we're going to do here then is take a look more so at the ground level. Okay. I'm buying it, but I'm not going to love it. Okay, so we have to figure out what we're going to be doing with the actual aircraft. Now, we can see obviously that we do have a fighters, we have our bombers, we have utility there if we had any utility. What's interesting is we can actually see here the air bases. We can see the actual amount of air bases underneath the, well, under the command of this actual core over here. We can see how much free capacity they have. We can see their command point as well. So obviously, they can only control so many units before they start to find it more and more difficult, before it becomes less efficient. Efficiency is going to be a thing to take a look at, by the way. Remember that word efficiency. It's going to be coming back. We can see here the weather, I do believe. Oh, sorry, no, that is whether they will operate at night, day, or day and night. They are operating day and night. I think that means box. I'm not too sure what that pink square means as of yet. Yeah, so day and night, normal. Ring circles, I'm not too sure what that means as of yet. Obviously, I'm going to have to figure this one out. You can see the headquarters that are assigned to naval ops are not running any. Supply priority, asset priority, which is good. Hold, not too sure what that means as of yet. I imagine that might be their orders, perhaps? Not too sure. We'll figure that one out. But I do like to be able to see where the airfields are. That's actually really quite nice. I believe over here we can see that we have, we have low ammunition, so we do have to bear that one in mind there. We can see that other airfields, yep, so obviously we do have low ammunition over here. Capacity is low as well, so this is indicating that these airfields are going to be a little bit too busy, a little bit too chunky. We do have low ammunition over here as well. A lot of information there to just see, which is very useful. If I take a look over here then, so this is the overall picture. And what I like about this is it's really, really intuitive. We zoom in, we can see all the different headquarters over here. That's the different airfields under this, which is quite nice. So I can take a look over here. So Luftflotte, yep, okay. If I click on that again, so this is the overall headquarters. So what we're going to do then is take a look. If I zoom out, you can see that these actually get larger. It's really quite nice. It's almost like looking at a, like an Osprey book is what it reminds me of. I'm sure you guys will understand what I mean by that. It's like when you take a look at the actual map and it shows you where all these different units were. That's what we're getting here. So if I actually hover over here as well, over Luftflotte 2, you can actually see that it will highlight the units that are assigned to this headquarters. And sort of hide the other ones that aren't, which is quite nice. If I show you over here as well, you can see that. Which is really quite nice. It makes it a lot easier. It makes it really quite intuitive, which is quite handy. So you can see all these different air commands and air bases under here. So we do appear to have a low amount of air support over here at Suwalki. Over here, low air support. Yep, you can see the colours there. A lot of information to work with there. Again, I still don't know what these squares actually mean. I'm not too sure as of yet. I sound so silly when I say that. Okay, so looking pretty good now. So you can see then the strength of the actual commands. So Luftflotte over here then has 376 fighters, 445 bombers. Now, if I don't scroll too far away. Ah, there we go. Hungarian Air Command, Romanian Air Command. Looking very good. Actually, can I go ahead and click from here? I can click from here. We don't see the numbers, but I can obviously see the numbers here. I'd have to zoom in to see more. We do have a Slovakian Expeditionary Air Brigade. We have a 1st Royal Hungarian Air Force. Now, if I take a look over here then at 4, you can see it's quite a large area. So I believe this would be the area they would be operating in. I've used the 1,000 to 2,000 kilogram bombs. I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, we can give it a go. It's going to be a lot of fun, actually. Be intriguing to figure out what actually is a good idea and what's not. So that's going to be intriguing. Let's see, so we have our details. So this shows you the level of detail. So right now, we're not going to get much detail. We could have less detail. We could have more detail. And I like this. It's very nice and simple. Makes it really easy. So what we're going to do here then is, let's see. So, what I want to find out now then is reconnaissance. Air reconnaissance directive. There may be a mode here to see our level of reconnaissance, and I'm trying to figure out how to see that. But by the way, I'm going to show you what I meant by the efficiency. So this command over here, so show command efficiency, command quality. If I go ahead here and show command efficiency, now this is going to be intriguing, and I believe this is a very visual way of showing if you're over the command point limit, essentially. So you can see that we're seeing lower what we would assume to be lower command efficiencies with the red and the oranges over here. Yellow is not so great. Green being very likely better. So that's quite nice, actually. It makes it quite easy to see. That's quite good. And then we do have our... this is the command quality, which is interesting. So you can see that we have reds down here, we have oranges and we have yellows. There's not many greens, but there are some greens. You can see that we do have army groups over here that do have green. Now, whether dark green is better than light green, I'm not too sure. I think light green is the best. I'm not too sure here, actually. Edible crab. That's a great name. Oh, have a good one there, crab. I like that name, edible crab. So if I go ahead and actually take a look at that. And by the way, I do like how we actually have a portrait now. That's really quite good. That's actually really nice. That's the first time I've seen that as well, so that's pretty fantastic, actually. I do like that. Yeah, we can see our commander over here. Very useful. It really adds more personality to the game, which I'm happy about. So what we're going to do is figure out the order of battle here in this area. I'm going to follow it up, follow it all the way to the top. So we have 16th Army. Oh, right, that's if I wanted to switch them. Let me go ahead and turn that off for now. Actually, what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and set some air directives, and then we'll move on into the ground aspects of the game. Oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for. So we have interdiction levels. Let's see. Reconnaissance, that's what I was looking for. So combat reconnaissance and strategic reconnaissance. Okay, so if we switch on the strategic reconnaissance, and Russia's known for many things. Manpower being one of them at this point in time, as you can see. Yeah, so strategic reconnaissance is actually rather interesting. It is actually pretty intriguing though, because I believe every town here, yes, we can see the towns here obviously having the manpower. That's something to bear in mind, and it does give you a reason to actually go ahead and take these towns. Essentially, you are depriving the Russians of that manpower that they could potentially gain from that. But we can also see where they do have their manufacturing, their production. So we can see that we do have over here in Kiev, we have armors production, rails, obviously, which we can see. And the armaments, which is very good. We did see some tank production. Where's Kharkov? Yes, here we go. We have Kharkov over here. So we do see that they are producing T-34s over there. We do have a number of actual vehicles, and we have some aircraft production. So good to be able to see that. Very much a War in the West sort of look here, isn't it? I'm going to go to the combat reconnaissance. So we don't have any combat reconnaissance as of yet. We do have some, actually. So we can see... we have some awareness. Yeah, oh, okay, so we do actually have some reconnaissance then already on the airfield, which is good news. That's very good. I need to name the Hexiboo. Oh, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Yeah, so we can see where the enemy units are. We do see there's 177 fighters over here. Now, I just need to figure out where the concentration of strength is. Let me go ahead and try and make this a little bit... ooh, that makes it green. Oh, it's because I've got this on. Oh, that's on anyway. That's fine. So what we can do here then is figure out where the enemy's concentration of strength is. I shall be just 1 second here, guys. Alright, and I am back. Okay. So, we can see where the fighter strength is, we can see where the bomber strength is. I'm looking for some... ah, here we go. Okay, so Odessa's looking interesting though, because we actually have... fighters and utility. I was kind of hoping that we could find like one large cluster of air bases, but they are spread out. We do see more over here. That one's going to be very nice to get to. That should be quite easy. Oh, that's more like it. Okay, this is more like it. I have 157 here, 126 here. Some nice density of targets. I don't like it when they're spread out. So that makes it easier. So it makes it harder to get at them. So that's good to know then. So you can see where we have targets opportunity, essentially. So go there. Here we go. So we have our air directives. Let's see. We're going to take a look at all targets. So ground targets only. All targets. So we can see here our actual air directives, which is very good. Yes, that is exactly how it works there. I believe we have the air phase, Then we'll have the air execution phase, and then we'll have the ground phase, and then from the ground phase we move on, and so forth, which works very well. No, it looks really good actually, I'm excited too. So you can see our reconnaissance over here, which is looking good. We can see what we have aside, so we have our ground attacks, where they're taking place as well. The thing that we're missing right now then would be airfield attack. So I think we should be able to set that up. We can take a look at ground attack only. Well, ground essentially targets. So reconnaissance, ground attack, ground support, that sort of thing really. As you can see, ground support. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn that off. We have our map flak, and I've been warned about this. There's a small bug with a flak at the moment, so I'm not meant to press this button, so I'm not going to press that button, because it may crash the game. But that will be, of course, fixed in the future. So the air phase is in front and center each turn, not just the first turn. We should have an air phase every single turn, essentially. We'll be able to take a look at this shortly and see how that works. What I wanted to do is spend some time going through the actual game, showing off the UI, showing off the different parts of said game, and then we can start touching into the more gameplay aspects. We do have to look at logistics actually shortly, so we'll get through this. Okay, so I can turn this off here, and then obviously we do have a much nicer looking map. Obviously a lot cleaner. This is what I was asked to show earlier on, wasn't it? Essentially to show the map. Looking pretty wonderful. Let's see how Moscow looks. Yeah. Oh, all those rivers are gonna make life a lot of fun. Yep, you can definitely tell which is the area you're not going to enjoy, and the areas that you are going to enjoy. There's not many areas you will enjoy. I do like that green. So there we are, turn that back on. And I will have you toggle back on so I can see. There we are. Yeah, it's indeed time to invade Stalingrad. And there are in-game tutorials. I'm just one of those people that just don't read tutorials or do tutorials because I don't. It is a character flaw, in all honesty. It's a character flaw. So what we're going to do here then is we're actually going to go ahead and set up one of our directives. So you notice that we do have no air directives selected. We have ground support, ground attack, strategic reconnaissance. We do have air superiority, we have naval air patrol, and then we have obviously showing battle sites. So what I'm going to go ahead and do then is, let's see, would it come under air attack? It may very well come under air attack. Or would it be strategic attack? Bomb city, ground attack, ground support. Which one would be airfields? So I'm just trying to figure this one out actually. Which one did airfields come under? I think we set the target priority, don't we? So let's see. So ground attack, let's take a look at this right now. Yeah, tutor, sensei. Alright, let's take a look at this then. So, directives. I'm trying to figure out how. Which one would it come under? Ooh, I don't want to do that. Nope, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm trying to remember which one it came under now. Mom City. Oh, I don't want to bomb. No. No. I'm trying to think which one it would come under now. We'll figure it out, don't worry about that. Right, let's see then. So I'm going to go ahead. So I'm seeing... Yeah, so we've seen strategic targets here then. If I go ahead and clear that. If I go ahead and take a look at this one. Now, what I want to do then is, let's see. So these are available. We have some HS-126. So have doctrines, show air groups and compatible. I may have to figure this one out. What the heck is the bomb? So this is my bad. I should have looked this one up. I thought it'd be obvious. But it's only obvious if you haven't forgotten, and I've forgotten. Oh dear. That's a good question. Since you have extensive hours, there are far better people at one of these than me and one of the West. The one I'm more familiar with is one of the Pacific. But it's still a good question. What would I say? It feels modern, I suppose is the way to say it. It feels like Wonder West and obviously War of the East put together, which it actually is. But it feels modern. I think that's the way I describe it, is it feels modern, it feels fresh. It just feels, like, intuitive, which is very nice. Okay. I may have to just sideline the airfield attacks for now until I figure out how you bloody well do them. It might be one of those where it does switch. But I'll have to figure that one out. Let's see. F4. Bomb City. I'll have to figure that one out. Ah! There we go. It is a target priorities. Never mind. That's my bad. Okay. Excellent day. Excellent day. So it is here. I was thinking it's definitely under one of these and it must be ground attack. Okay, that's good. But what I'm going to do then is, let's take a look. So we do have a variable air. Are they not assigned? Okay, a variable air operational group. Okay, so we're taking a look at what's actually assigned to this directive here. Yeah, as Blutin says there, the game is just more intuitive. That's how it feels, that's how I describe it. It feels modern. Do bear in mind that this is actually the first day I've actually had access to the game like this, and this is very much my first impression as well. It feels modern. That's the way I describe it. Okay, what I'm going to go ahead and do then is, let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the actual air directives, and we'll go from that area. So we have our air doctrine. Now, I'd love to be able to actually get more in detail here. I'm going to have to figure out what altitudes will be better or worse in the future. But if we take a look over here at our actual air directives. I tell you what, actually, Parmentier said it earlier, and we're going to go ahead and do that. What I'm going to do is actually take, I'm going to come off with the actual air directives over here. And what I want to go ahead and do then is, I wonder if I can do it from the commander's report, perhaps. What I want to do is change all aircraft to carry a certain bomb load if I can. Oh, I might be able to do it from here, actually. So let's see, we have Junker 88s. Right, so that's reconnaissance. I'm looking for... Right, so we have the HS-126 over here, which is our reconnaissance as well. I keep selecting reconnaissance. I'm not intending to select reconnaissance. Okay, let me see. Strategic reconnaissance. Am I just selecting this over here with reconnaissance? It's just a reconnaissance aircraft. Oh, it's because it hasn't got any... Oh no, it has got bombs. Never mind. Because 88. Dornier... Ah. God damn. Right, here we go, Junkers 88. There we go. Now, what I want to go ahead and do here... So that's... Oh, clear all air group transfers. Interesting. What I'll do... Yes! There we go. So this is what I really like about this, and it's really fantastic. It could be a really bad idea, but we do have the option here. So you can see that we do have quite a lot of options actually to play with when it comes to the loadout, which is really nice. By the way, the earlier pause in the talking was because my little brother brought me in a coffee, which is really nice because I need to wet my mouth shortly. Hydrate. So we have access to mines here. Okay. But we do have our 2,000 kilogram bombs over here, which is what we're going to be going ahead and taking. You can see it is going to affect our climb modifiers. It is actually going to increase the amount of ammunition. So this could have a very real impact on the amount of ammunition that is going to be drawn, obviously the amount of supply and obviously our production. But I think it's going to be worthwhile. It's going to be fun just to experiment here. It's going to be really interesting to experiment. I think, let's see, so climb modifier, maneuver modifier, endurance modifier, max speed modifier. So they're likely going to have lower range. Yes, is there any option within the game to say focus mainly on the AGC and put AGN and AGS on? Oh, as in, I'm not too sure about that one. Probably not, but I'm not too sure. You could always play a smaller scenario, perhaps, if you wanted to do something like that. But in fairness, you do have all the time in the world with a turn-based game, so take it at your own pace. What we are going to do then is actually go ahead and apply this to all the Junker 88s. There's going to be quite a dramatic uptick in desires for the 1,000 kilogram bombs. Yes, as I said, they can also automate the support unit management, which is very useful. Oh, that's looking so nice. That's looking very good. That's looking very, very nice. We can even see our pilots. The detail. Oh, we would have clicked on one. If I go over here, then we can see the pilots. I clicked on strategic reconnaissance. I keep clicking on the goddamn strategic reconnaissance. I'm getting very good at that. going to have to remember all the different designations of aircraft. Right, PF-109's over here then. Okay. You can see we could actually affect their loadout as well. And it's very interesting because this is an interesting question, because obviously these are fighter bombers. Would we wish them to actually participate in the actual ground attacks? I mean, we could engineer that if we wish to do something like that. And it does make you wonder, is it worthwhile? Because this is the first day of war, essentially. Maybe it would be worthwhile to actually go ahead and give them bombs. I don't know if they would actually participate as well as we'd like. Might be worthwhile trying. It could be something we could do. But you can see it does affect their climate modifiers. It affects quite a lot over here. But is it worthwhile? Maybe. I guess we'd have to take a look and actually decide whether or not it was worthwhile. You can see our radius over here. So if I go back and check on the... I love that picture, by the way. If I go ahead and check on a Junkers 88A... And if I go to the loadout here, now we can see that the range has been diminished, and you can actually see all the up-to-date statistics, the actual live statistics, I suppose you could call them here. So you can see our climb rate has been reduced, our speed has been reduced, you can see our range has been reduced, our maneuver has been reduced, obviously due to the size of this bomb. You can see that if we had, like, none, I don't know why you'd go with no loadout, that's kind of mad, but we could actually change the loadout. I mean, 28 50-kilogram bombs, it does make you wonder if they're worthwhile. Yes, there are tutorials in the game, yeah, there definitely are. I'm just crazy and don't particularly go for them. Which is not a good character trait. But let's take a look then. So we have our AI depot management, we'll take a look at that. No, I will take a look at that. Okay, so we're not going to particularly mess with that as much, we're going to take a look at it and allow it to take its own course of action. Right, let's go ahead and take a look at the logistics then. So we have supply priority, units isolated, we have our logistics information here then. So, let's try and get a good idea of what we're looking at here. Let's see, we have our rail. Right, this is going to be an interesting one to figure out. So you can see that we could build an airbase over here or create a depot over here. Can it see the city details? Right, okay. We're going to figure this one out. Now, if I press 8, does it do that? I wonder if it does that. Let's see. It might not do it in this phase. Let's see. You used to be able to see... So I'm not showing the depots right now. So I'm going to have to go ahead and find the hotkey for depots. Where are they? If it's working like War in the West. Command links. Manage depot. You see depot loading. Freight shipments. Ah, so it does work. 8 is still there. Let's see. Now if I turn N off and press 8, okay, it might work in the ground phase. Yeah, it's not active right now. It might require us to actually go into the next turn for that to come about. So what we're going to do then is we're going to have things kicked off in a second. Okay, so toggle air execution. We're going to go ahead and make use of the AI. So we'll have the AI manage our depots for now. Let it work it out. There we are. Okay. And we'll execute our air directives here. Now, what I could do is also change the level in detail. But we'll go with it as is for now. But you can see we do have it running pretty quickly. We don't have a huge amount of detail. We could change that to have much more detail. I think we're running at level 2 air phase detail. Also be able to change that, so we should do so. Oh, we're looking pretty good here so far. Now, I imagine that once we do actually take a more direct level of control over the the actual air campaign here, we'd be able to. I'd imagine we'd be able to land more numbers. We are seeing air combat increasing. Okay, so we do have 285 aircraft lost today. Now, in the first one of these, we would be able to have much lower than that. So obviously, we will have to really get into the actual nitty-gritty of the air phase and really sort it out properly. That's something I'll take a look at in the future. You can see that we are now in the ground phase, which is nice. This is where the game will come to life. Right, let's see. I want to see how... I'm not seeing the air sort of logistics. Let's see. I manage depots. I want to find my depots. Do I have depots? I might not actually have depots as of yet. I should. But we'll see. Air assist, that's something to bear in mind though. Let me figure out where they are. Command links is always a useful one though. I may not be able to see them as such. Toggle roads. Let's go ahead and take a look at the roads. I've not taken a look at the roads as of yet, so that'd be interesting. Okay. So control R. Yeah, N is for rails. Control R? Control R is for roads. Oh. Right, okay. I've done something there. It's also for rails, apparently. What am I doing here? I don't know how I've got that one on. Okay. That was rail damage. There we are. So you can see here we have our roads, which is going to be very interesting. And what's interesting is we can actually see the roads that are being utilised right now. So you can see the rail lines here as well. That does look really fantastic though, doesn't it? That's a lot of detail there. That is quite a lot of detail. You can see obviously there's not tremendous amounts of roads here. We do have rail line connections though. Obviously, there would be roads. Obviously, it just depends on the level of infrastructure. This is probably going to be representing a higher level of infrastructure rather than dirt roads. But dirt roads will obviously be represented to a degree if they actually did matter at this point. So let's see then. Okay. Right, N, logistics on and off. Okay. Oh, so these are my depots. Yep, there we go. There we go, so we have our depots over here then. So if I go ahead and click here, so you can see this is where we have a depot. What I want to know then... Ah! Okay, that's the actual unit itself. Turn you off for now. Right, let me right click. Rail yard depot. Map information. Information screens. Right, production in this area. Event log, metrics. Okay. We'll figure this one out. Right. So what's the question there? Do divisions have badges? Yes, they do. They actually do, which is really nice. Let me go ahead and just turn the roads off for now. I'm also going to turn that off for now. We'll go ahead and put this lovely thing back on. And take a look over here. Now, we do have the airfields being shown here, which is quite nice. We can build airfields, actually, which is really intriguing. So if I was to go ahead, this is also going to be a test game, also this isn't going to be like a proper game as such. We're doing a lot of this discovery. And we can see that we actually do have a depot here, which is intriguing. So we can actually set the priority from here. But if I was to go ahead and build an airbase, let's go ahead and build an airbase. And we can see that we do now have an airbase over here established. If I was to go into here, I can see our airbase is not yet built, but it would be built over time. We can see units assigned to it, so we do have the actual airbase here. So let's then airbase. We can see that we do have currently nothing assigned to it right now, but an airbase essentially has these by default as part of its table of equipment. So you can see that we would have all these different flak, we would have support and air support, so that's very good to know there. So that's exactly how that works. Also be able to make greater use of that in the future. And let's go ahead and take a look at the actual units then. So, if I go ahead and click on the 291st Infantry Division over here, we can see that we do have a moose. I think it's a moose. Yes, it is a moose, which is good to see. We can see what we have assigned. So we have bicycle reconnaissance. Okay. Very familiar. Change unit status. Now, we do have preparation points. We do have a nice little detail here, which is quite good. I like that. City Fortress. Attach unit to City Fortress. Aha. Change the unit status. We see its headquarters. Now I want to go ahead and figure out how we actually set the preparation. Is it done at the division or is it done at the headquarters? We are able set assault status to headquarters. commanders. Okay, supply priority. There's a way to set preparation for cities. I'm just not sure how you do it as of yet. Now they won't figure it out, but I know we can do it. I'm just going to have to figure out how. Do bear in mind I've not read the manual. Okay, yeah, look at that. We actually have a wiki here, which is pretty amazing. Look at that. So we have information here about all the units, which is pretty impressive. You could honestly spend quite a lot of time just reading this, in all honesty. I go over the 9th Panzer Division. As part of Army Group South, the 9th Panzer Division swept through the Ukraine and was involved in the encirclement of Kiev, where 667,000 Soviet soldiers were captured. It remained on the southern sector, facing the Soviet winter offensive of 1941-42, and taking part in the offensive that resulted in Stalingrad. The following year, the 9th Panzer was transferred to the Army Group Center, where it was engaged in the Battle of Kursk, and the subsequent retreats. Returned to the southern sector, it was in heavy combat in the retreat to Mies, in the battles of Stalingrad, these I can't pronounce, Odessa, and in the Dnieper battles. By January 1945, it was down to a strength of 13 tanks. Its infantry and artillery units were also very much reduced. It was sent to Nimes in southern France to rebuild and stayed in the west for the balance of the war. German order of battle, there we go. Impressive levels of detail there. Ah, oh, that's really cute there, intractable. The funny thing is I'm really bad at them. Such irony. Yeah, it's pretty impressive though, isn't it? Okay. Impressive destiny. Okay. What I want to do then is, let's take a look. We'll start down here in the south. Oh, do I start in the south? I'm going to start in the north. We'll start in the north. This is where I spend the next 4 days. Okay. Is it here, perhaps? I'm going to have to figure out where the planet is. I will find it. I have a very specific set of skills. Ah, we'll start over here then. Okay. Dojo. Divisions don't have individual commanders, unfortunately. We do have our commanders over at the corps scale, but I mean, in all honesty, you could take a look at the actual commander of the division, and you'd be pretty much good to go. You're pretty much good to go. Okay. I did an original Twitch. That's a great name, by the way. Right, so what I'm going to go ahead and do, we can actually change the colour, which is pretty fantastic. We do have our actual corps commander over here, which is pretty nice. What I want to go ahead and do then is take a look at our logistics. So I should be able to find that. So what I need to go ahead and do then is take a look at the actual commander's report. I'm going to take a look at headquarters. I'm going to go ahead, so this is showing us things that are actually on map. What I want to go ahead and do then is turn all that off, and I want to find Army Group, and I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Army Group North. So we have Army Group North over here. Okay, excellent. So we do have one leader in command. We have our assigned units here. Okay, but what I want to find out then is our supply details. So this is the actual headquarters itself. So what I need to go ahead and do is go back to the commander's report and clear filter. Is it commander support? It should be. Might actually be something else I want to look into here. Let's see. Let's see. What I want to figure out here then. So let's see. Army Group Center. So let's go to the actual unit itself. Maybe I need to be in a different mode. Logistics phase. Okay. Kinda. Not quite the one I'm looking for, but kinda right. Kinda right. We do have details with which to work through there. I'm trying to figure out what I want here. And it's just a matter of finding it. Alright. So we have the cores there. What I want to see then. So we have the actual headquarters, so we can see where it is. Oh, right, okay. So we have command unit. So combat units attached. We have our support level here. Support units, command points. Oh, hello. Priority. Command points. Yep, okay. So you can see that there. How much we have spare, essentially. And a lot of information. Let's take out the cores there. Whoops, I need to go ahead and clear that. What I want to do then is take a look at the army group. And if we take a look over here then. So command points, we have 999 there. 108 here. We're seeing North Africa. Apparently they're a map. Okay, that's cool. Right, let's see. We have a amount of men here. Priority. So you can see that Army Group Antonescu is actually priority 1 for the Romanians. Very, very nice of them. Command points. So, Army Group Center, I think it only has 7 points spare. Yes. We have 101 points spent out of the 108 here, so we'll have to bear that one in mind there. Okay. Oh yeah, Friday Nations. Those were good days. Those are good days. My god, that game took forever. It took forever. Okay. What I'm going to get then is the nitty-gritty. I want to figure out how much we're getting to the actual units in terms of supply. Now I can go ahead and take a look at the supply details of the unit itself. We can see what we actually have in the unit. It's because we haven't resolved the 10 as of yet. That's what I need to happen. Oh man, that's going to be high. Okay. Wow, it's nearly 6 o'clock. Oh my god, it's nearly 6 o'clock. I've still got some time. Still got some time. I'm trying to figure out how we do this. So, there's a great deal of me that wants to do this properly. And what I mean by that is go through and do every move as if it was like a normal campaign. I am going to have to resist that for now. So what we are going to do is essentially... We're going to do a little bit of combat, and then I'm going to move into the second turn because I do want to see the logistics flow. I do want to see all of that information. So it's going to hurt me, but we'll have to do that. We'll have to do that. So... Oh, that's nice. Look at that. Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's charming, actually. That's cute. Oh, I like that. I wonder what the numbers mean. I don't know what they mean as yet. That's cute, though. Oh, that's so cute. I don't know what this means. Is that preparation point? That might be preparation points. We're going to have to figure that one out. I want to figure it out now. Okay, right. I'm going to go back to what I said originally. I'm going to go ahead and find me some goddamn super heavy artillery. Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll go ahead and we'll take Brest-Litovsk, and we'll go from there. I do like taking Brest-Litovsk. That's a fun one. We should be able to do it today, actually. Well, we should be able to do it in the first turn. So today, yeah. Still right. Still right. What I want to go ahead and find... is our super heavy. So we have our Carls over here. So we have the 833rd, 1st and 2nd, 4th Army, and 4th Corps. Alright, okay. Let's take a look at these bad boys. Absolutely glorious. Ah, there we are. Okay. Yes, we'll go with Brest-Litovsk because Brest-Litovsk is a fun one. I don't have a lot of information here to work with. Obviously, we could have actually gone ahead and set the amount of reconnaissance to be higher in terms of actually the flown reconnaissance. I use to take. That's the Tusk actually, but we'll see. And we usually start over here a little bit further to the north, which is a good idea. What I'm going to do then is, so we have a 45th Infantry Division here. I should actually have the super heavy guns in 4th Corps. Was it 4th Corps? I think it might have been 4th Corps. 4th Corps. Right. It is in 4th Army. Ah, you're over here, okay. We don't want you over here. HQ. Now, the question will be, can I assign it to where I wish it to be? I could have it signed to... Where's 12th? I should be able to assign it to 12th. 4th Army. Not saying 12 Corps. Damn. I may not be able to use them as of yet. I can go for 4th Army and maybe be able to transfer from there. Depends. Or maybe I'm just blind. How you doing there, Paul? Good to have you, my friend. Are you waiting for version 1.0 to do anything? I will play that game again. The only reason why I haven't played really much of anything in the past is just uni keeps me so busy. Crazy busy, actually. Eventually I will do things again. I will be a living person again. And do things that people do for fun. So we're going to have this sent over to the 4th Army then. Can I have it sent from the 4th Army then? So do we have our 4th Army here? Assigned, so we do have it. Can I? I can't assign you right now. I can't reassign you right now, sorry. It's a shame. But I do have you here. Let's just go back and double check that. No, I can't assign you right now. Right. So this is where we're able to transfer it. Was it 13th Corps? I'm sure it's... Oh, there we go. There we have 12th Corps. Yeah, why would you want to be normal? Yeah, there you go, Grub. I'm going to go ahead and have this assigned to the 12th Corps. If I take a look at 12th Corps, we should now... There we are. We do have the Siege Mortar Battery. So we do have 2 of our 600mm Siege Mortars, which is very nice. What I'm going to go ahead and do here is, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and assign additional supporting units. So we do have motorized, we have some guns, machine guns, pioneers. I'm not seeing pioneers, but I might not be able to assign them to this unit in particular like that. What we are going to do then is we're going to start a battle over here. Oh, it's actually signed. Oh, this is exactly what I do anyway. That's great news. Okay, let's see. We'll go ahead and actually launch some combat. Do we have an odds calculator? Oh, we do! Oh, God, yes. Oh, that's a real nice improvement. So, what you can see here, then, is... This is something that comes from London West, and it's really nice. It's really, really, really nice. It really helps. Oh, it's just so good for, like, quality of life. So you can see that we actually have here, so you can see at the top we have attack CV, which is 13.7, and we have defensive CV, which is 2.8. If I make that deliberate attack, you can see that we have that increased to 27.5, and that's still 2.8. So, excelente. Oh, God, what's that? Oh, God, that scared the shines out of me. Okay, don't press it multiple times and activate sticky keys and deafen yourself. Don't do that. I need to turn that off. Okay. We are going to go ahead and attack here, then. What do we have here, then? So we have Swamp. I hate Swamp. Yeah, sticky keys. Let's see. I do want to fake it manager. Yeah, classic sticky keys. I do have my 8th SS Cavalry Brigade here. Okay. They would be quite excellent. They're a very useful unit, in fact. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Okay. We'll have our first unit move there. 99. So what we're going to do then is going to have a 258th Infantry Division attack over here. Okay. So, yeah, we do see where the support has been flown from. We do see that we had 128 fighters. Obviously, we can increase the amount of detail that we have on these screens quite nicely. You can see what happened here. It feels very much like playing War in the West, but you're like, oh, I'm actually in the East here. Okay, so we had the... oh, that's intriguing then. So we can actually have the support elements destroyed and surrender. That's good. Yes, they were routed and they surrendered. That's cool. Okay, so we have that there. Now I do see... is that for real just a... what the heck is in here? An MG artillery battalion? Is it really that weak? It has 0. Oh my god, it was just a... it was just a battalion. Impressive. Okay. Does Pavlov still get shot? Right, we can see here then if we were to move. Now I have a swamp here, clear here. So I'd have 11 moving there, 13 there, so I'm going to go here. I don't have any information because I don't need it. You can see that, can I take these guys with just deliberate? Oh, I can. Oh, okay, fantastic. That I'm not aware of. Actually, I might be somewhat aware of. Oh, well, there we go. It's not often that you get to use these kind of units to take out the front lines. That's quite nice. Okay. Hey, did I roll top? Yep, this is the Slithering Group channel. Well, you'll see a lot of great games here. Okay. Let's see. Can you change the size of that screen? Which screen? Not too sure. Right. So we have our ability to move forward here. Now, what I'm seeing here, I wonder if that's fatigue. Maybe it is fatigue. I'm not too sure. I'm going to have to take a look at what this actually is, because we're seeing this number increase as we're carrying out additional actions here, so we have to bear that in mind. We see here, maybe this is like combat potential, maybe this is like fatigue. I'm going to have to take a look at that. That's interesting so far. Yes, that's fatigue. Ah, there we go. And the cross swords is combat preparation. Ah, right, okay. Excellent, excellent. Arigatou gozaimasu. Right, okay. 8.4 there. We are seeing the 86 Rifle Division. And we could push on a little bit further there towards the actual... well, we know there's a headquarters unit. We do see there's an armored unit over here. But what we're trying to do is essentially push around here to clear these units out of the way, essentially. So we need to focus on this area here. If you fought on that hex, the next unit entry will pay more MP, essentially so. Okay. 8.4. Hi, arigatou gozaimashita. I'll get flashbacks now. Oh dear. Right, what I'm going to do here then, and it is something to bear in mind actually, you might actually wish to use additional units to carry out these actions rather than just using one unit. But we'll see. So we're going to have this one actually carry out a deliberate attack. So we do force the 86th Division here to retreat. And our fatigue is 54. Have the ability to move on a little bit further forward. Okay. I may leave this one here for now. Now, what I'm trying to avoid here is essentially the river crossing. So the river crossing penalty. The reason being it is going to cost us additional men, and I'd rather not have it cost additional men. I think I should be able to change the level of detail here. So we're going to go for a higher level of detail just to see what that looks like. Right, so we're looking at 13. Yeah, that should fall essentially with no problems at all. It feels almost like a waste to attack it, to be honest. I could potentially use a smaller unit to attack it rather than waste something that's worth more. 911. You can see obviously that's going to affect that. I will use the security battalion. The reason being so I don't have to waste the efforts of a division. So that can remain there for the time being. So we can see here then. And what I could do is actually push you up. You have only 11 fatigue. Do I wish to utilize you further? You can see that combat prowess has diminished there. They're at 12. What I'll do here then is split you up. Or do I want to split them up? I don't really have to bother attacking these guys so much. I didn't know that. Good to have you, my friend. Yeah, it's good to see you, my man. Yes, there you go. So it does show you where the actual air spot is coming from. So what I'm thinking here, then, is we don't bother attacking these fellows. All I really care about is actually pushing these fellows out of the way. These guys are going to be encircled anyway, so it doesn't really do me any good to just attack them and waste men. What I want to do is get these fellows out of the way, though. Or do I? Yes, I do. I do. 13. So that unit is going to be a bit tougher to take down. It's still the 86, so it's going to have taken some losses. It looks to be in a good position. It's in clear terrain, though, which is interesting. I could have them support the division here. I think I will do. So what I could do here, then, is have them both attack. I can see that we're at 18.8 over here versus their 12. And if I increase that to deliberate attack, we do have 37. I think it's always best to be sure. We could probably get through this with just a hasty attack, but it's a fine line. I always think it's better to go for... Oh, you also can see here, in this higher level of detail, what is exactly what is being done. And exactly what is doing the damage, which is really interesting. And just give you that level of detail, which is actually really quite helpful. Yep. The Soviet big guns do tend to do a lot of damage, actually. The 150s do a lot of damage. So we go down a level. And they're routed. Which is actually helpful. Surrender is good. Right, 32. So you can see that combat potential there is still not bad, but it has been diminished. Now, what I'm going to do then is... it looks like they're unable to move at this point now. Okay. So I could go here for 5, there for 5. We do see the 31st Tank Division, but I don't need to care about the 31st Tank Division for now. So if I was to attack over here, we would be defeated. A deliberate attack would be able to manage it, but what I want to be able to do is ignore the actual river crossing. That's going to make it harder for us, so we want to ignore that. What we're going to do then is take a unit. Okay. Always start with the ones towards the rear. So we'll have the 7th Infantry Division move up. Now we do have the 7th Corps here, I believe. Support, okay. We do have Pioneers actually in here. We have 115 guns. Okay. Move them a little bit further forward. Right. So 47, 14. Now, if they performed a hasty attack, they'd actually have the ability to win that, in theory. So if I include them both, we do have 21.3. If I have that as a deliberate attack, you can see that's looking pretty good there. What I'm going to go ahead and do here then is... I could throw them in, but I'm not going to throw them in, so it's kind of a waste of time. What I will do then is have them both launch a hasty attack. So you can see the actual aircraft over here. So they're taking quite a lot of losses to their bombers though, which is not surprising. Considering there's 152, sorry, 100, yeah, well now there's 152 fighters, and they had 10 as escort. So they lose all their bombers because they kind of flew into hell. Yes, I'm English. Get a Sujin? Get a Sujin? I think it's a Sujin. That's like UK. I can't remember what English is. Ah, Potsdam Classical. Alright, there we go. So we have 1-1. I will move there. Okay, so I can move south there. 9 here. So obviously moving through swamp is not advisable. It will fatigue our unit here more, so we are going to have to bear that in mind and obviously go here. Now, this I could just sneeze and it fall, but we have to do it. But again, this is where it would have been maybe worthwhile to split this unit up into multiple units, since it's regiments. I can also have this set on, by the way, so we can see here we have the morale, experience, supplies, fuel, ammunition, units attached, supply priority, combat preparation, and fatigue. I should have taken a look at this a while ago and we'd been able to see that. So there we are. Okay. Martian. Indeed, indeed. How you doing there, Pixel? Okay. So what I can do then, the 23rd Infantry Division doesn't have a lot really left to play with, but it has enough to take on a unit like this. So rather than use the other division, I'm going to instead use the 23rd to attack. And it will gain them additional experience, so it's not a bad thing. Yet we do force them to surrender. There we are. I didn't have a Marauder. Good to have you. Right, let's see. Experience. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so 79. We should see that potentially increase then. I should have taken a look at what it was beforehand and then compared. Alas. Okay, so no more movement here available, but that's fine. So we have 8 over here at Light Woods. We have the swamp over here, which I'm going to avoid. We have Light Woods over here as well. But what I can do then is move here, which will actually... it protects our flank there somewhat. And you can see... I actually would win that attack, which is intriguing. I could move a little bit further, actually. 8. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go for a hasty attack. But I will have this headquarters move forward, actually. I need to look at the actual rules regarding headquarter support. So we'll go for a hasty attack. Air power should help us out. We don't have a lot of bombers, but we do have a nice amount of fight to cover. We have shot down a lot of the Soviet Air Force there. Yeah, they do hold. This is why I do. I always regret when I don't bloody follow through with what I say. Yeah, they're looking pretty strong there. So you can see we've gained a lot of fatigue here, so they're no longer combat capable. So had I attacked there with a deliberate attack, we would have been successful, and I would have actually won the battle, and probably not had as much fatigue. Whereas now we haven't won the battle, we have gained that fatigue, and our situation hasn't improved, which is not good. Now, what I could do here... I don't want to move into the swamp, so I'm actually going to have more there. I could suck up the actual river crossing penalty and go like that, but do I really want to do that? But then if I do that, I'm not gaining as much in the way of fatigue, but if I go here, I'm gaining fatigue, but I'm not losing men to the river crossing. Fatigue's fine, men can rest. They don't often come back from the dead. Okay. I think they still have some capabilities, so I'm going to have them evolved. Well, that's a tough position now. Okay. Yeah, they can rest when they're dead. Ah, there we go. That's true, that issue. So we're looking at 39. So what I could do then is obviously move through here. So I'm going to move forward one. And move here. Which actually does force their headquarters away. Which in theory should make our position... well, should make it easier for us. Okay. So then we're moving into another core here. But what I can do is attack with the 268th. Still has enough bite. Forces them to surrender here. Now... I could actually win that battle still in theory. Do I want to fight that battle though? Likely yes. Signs point to the yes. Oh, that unit's looking pretty weak there. We might as well attack it. Yeah, so they're routed. Okay. Right, so I could go for a deliberate attack. What are we facing here then? So NKVD border, artillery, machine gunner, and the rifle division. The rifle division is not in a great state though, but they do have level 2 fortifications, but they are in clear terrain. I could win that. It's not the highest chance, but it does mean that I'm not using units I don't need to use. I will... Let's see, do we have anything that I could potentially give them as an extra oomph? But I don't think I need it, really. I could throw another unit in there, but I don't think it's needed. So we're going to go for a deliberate attack. Oh, I can't go for a deliberate attack. God damn. God damn. Okay, well, never mind. That makes that one a mute point. Okay. Didn't quite mean to move that unit, but that's okay. So we're looking at 12.8 there. 25. I'm going to go for the deliberate attacks. Go down to level 2. Yep, and they're gone and out of here. Loss is very light, and actually. And you get to have your revenge. Excellent. Okay. Now, if I take a look over here, then I could advance here. Obviously, then we're going to be pushing onto Brest-Litovsk itself, so we do need to bear that one in mind. How is HQ build-up different? I'll have to take a look into that. Let's see. Can I do a build-up? Let's find an armoured headquarters. I've not seen HQ build-up as we saw it beforehand, so I think it essentially is a case of you need to actually get it in there, probably change the priority of it. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. Okay. Right then. Now, do I have them utilised? I could move up fresh units to attack over here. And I may very well be able to take Brest-Litovsk without actually having to utilise a lot of units. We do see there the 42nd Rifle Division, the 22nd. It would be nice to actually go ahead and surround them. Gives additional bonuses there. I mean, it could be done, but then it's like, is it worth the effort? Okay. Let me go ahead here and... there we are. Okay, right. Well, that's where I am. Right. I don't think it's worthwhile potentially moving that unit. It has 43, but let's see. Okay, let me just go ahead here and... can I ban people? I don't seem to have the powers to ban, unfortunately. An account created 3 minutes ago. Unfortunately, I can't ban. Otherwise, I would ban. I mean, if somebody has like mod powers, that'd be great. I should be able to ban, but I can't ban. That's unfortunate. Okay. I guess just ignore that juvenile person. I unfortunately don't have powers to ban, otherwise I would have banned that guy. Can't ban him. Can I ban him? Oh, I can ban him. Yes, he's banned. GTFO, my friend. GTFO. Okay, there we go. I do have powers to ban. Peter Paradox. Okay, that's much better. Right. So we're going to use this core over here then. The issue is they're going to have some actual fatigue by the time they get over here, but that's okay. I need to bear in mind what we're doing here. But actually, let's see. 13 there. 78. Yep, you can see here that moving them that sort of distance is going to actually accrue a lot of that fatigue. So it's a case of, is it worthwhile doing because it's going to lower that. Then again, what else are they going to be doing? It's an interesting one. Hey, didn't that Reghard? Good to have you, my friend. Good to see you. Nice. 13's not bad at all. I can manage that. 12's not bad. Maybe we'll go for that. I reckon we could go for that. That's what makes things awkward for us. Should be alright. Now, do you have the ability to move further? You could move up a little bit more there, but it's not really worthwhile, is it, at this point in time? They could move a little bit further, but it's not worthwhile. We've also captured an airfield over here, which is nice. 2 airfields, in fact. Excellent. Do these fortifications remain here, I wonder? Or is this just showing us the combat delay? Ah, it's just showing combat delay, I think it is. Okay. What we're going to do then is... I'm going to bite the bullet, I think, and try to attack from a couple directions. Maybe not the most efficient, really. But again, this is essentially a learning campaign at this point. Let's see. Maybe Breast of Tosk isn't as hard. I'm playing on normal difficulty, and I think I might be overestimating things somewhat. Well, it's looking pretty good there to take it. It's into 1.3. I remember it being far harder. Must be different difficulty settings, because that actually felt a lot easier than I expected. There we go, we have Breast of Tosk there. Yeah, they're not going to be holding out as long as they normally do. I guess I must have been playing different settings. I'm not used to normal, actually. So that's quite amusing there. But we do have Breast of Tosk, which has been captured over here. Now, I could create a depot. We do have the airfield over here as well. That could be potentially expanded. Oh, actually, I'm that's true. I'm just not used to the difficulty settings. The map actually is bigger, which is really nice. You see it more so in the north, actually. Right, so they can be pushed up there. What I'm thinking we do then is we're going to go ahead and go into the next turn. Obviously, we're not playing this as a proper campaign, otherwise, because we're nowhere near done. But what we're going to do is we're going to go into the next turn. The reason being is I want to go ahead and take a look at the actual... Just obviously, as the game moves forward, we want to see what happens there. But I also want to see the logistics. I want to see that production really kick off. So it does hurt me to go forward, but we're going to go forward. And we can see that the actual enemies delivering... No, wait, what? No, that's us. Ah, that's interesting. Oh, okay. That's something that's new. I didn't realise that would happen. Huh. We'll have to take a look at that. But that's quite nice to have that as an automatic option then. I mean, obviously I don't want it to go to this one goddamn unit. But that's intriguing. I don't know why they're transferring there. That's really interesting. Okay, I'm going to have to look into that one. So I'd rather have had those guys just really sit down. That is interesting. Air assistance, okay. That's intriguing. Right. So we'll see what the Soviets do, and then we'll move and take a look at the actual logistics. Ah, there we go. By default, they'll try to topple the depots and formations they are set to support and follow. Right, that makes a lot of sense. See, that's something I've not taken a look at, actually. That's interesting, I like that. Okay. Ah, that is nice. Those are large numbers, though. I wish we had numbers. I like that. I like those numbers. I just wish they were mine. I also do see the Stalin line. Is that the Stalin line there? Or is that just the beginnings of the fortifications by the unit? I can't remember exactly where the Stalin line was. Or if it actually even existed. I think it existed. I'm not too sure at this point, actually. It may be a little bit of A, maybe a little bit of B. Okay. Oh, it did exist. That's good then. I'm just not dreaming about it then. I thought it was a good thing to know. Right. Okay. So again, just to point out, the game is the one I'm playing right now is a beta version. So bear that in mind. That's the way I'm going to say it, essentially. I imagine. Oh, there we go. Well, it's gone from 24 to 99. So take that, Doom. They heard you. Ah, and it was the old Soviet frontier. Okay. I like seeing all those different coloured airfields. I like that. And that's a nice, clear way to see. So we see that yellow is level 1, blue is level 2, and a blackish colour is level 3, I think? Or is blue level 3? We'll have to figure that one out. Or it might even be the fact that they're occupied, because usually level 3 airfield has 3 airfields. Can I see a level 3 on there? If there's going to be a level 3, probably somewhere near, but actually it might not be. Interesting. So we do have supply moving out here, logistics. His PC accent. Wait, it's PC. No, oh, right, PC ancient. No, my the laptop's actually really quite good. I've got 64 gigs of RAM. I've got an Intel i9. It's got 10 cores and stuff. I know nothing about computers really. I just build them like occasionally and then just know nothing. Okay, so we have our events here. So we have unread events. So we have for the continuation war, the Axis naval setback in North Africa. So Finland enters the war. So Finland, Finnish TV. Okay, ground combat intensity is set to very low. Oh, theatre box. Okay, air combat intensity is set to medium. Northern front theatre box ground combat intensity set to very low and medium. Okay, cool. We have the Axis naval setback in North Africa. Shortage of Axis forces leads to a setback in North Africa. Okay, that's intriguing then. So we do have to bear that in mind that there is going to be a larger war. And we have the Wolf's Lair. We'll have to take a look at that. We have Executive Order 8802. Under the threat of forced march on Washington, D.C. Oh, interesting. Ah. That's really interesting, actually, to have larger... that's intriguing, actually. Garrison shortage in the Far East. A shortage of Soviet forces in the Far East has negative political consequences, so Soviets lose 1 VP and 1 AP, administration point. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Okay. Right, now, what I want to go ahead and do then is, if I press A... Yes! Yes, it does work. I knew it'd work. Yes, this is what I was looking for. So this is essentially, it's very much more on the west, but you can see here, we do have Berlin as a central node of the logistics, but then we do have additional nodes in the actual logistics. But you can see where the depots are. If I put N on, and if I put the Control R on, throw the roads on there, we really do get a nice sense of what's going on here, actually. Oh yeah, it's running real nice and smooth. In fairness, it hasn't crashed on me, so that's really nice. It's really handy as well, because I was kind of worried that might happen, just, I don't know, maybe I run into a bug or something. But we can see here, we have quite a lot of detail to work with. Let's see then, if I zoom out, get a nice level of detail. Really nice level of detail there. Okay. So, order of battle changes, so we have lost 9,756 men here. Aircraft... Is this from this turn or the turn beforehand? I'm not too sure here at this moment in time. Right, so is this the amount that we have right now? Units, depots, pool. Okay, combat unit alerts, total map. We have 1 low on supply. I'm not too sure how to take a look at that. I say I would have had those rail units move out, but we did do like a tiny amount of things and then moved into the next one. Note 1 column is for on map, and the other is for theatre boxes. Oh, okay, fantastic. That's very good to know there. So, of course, we've only done a very, very small amount of gameplay here, so obviously we would see far more from an actual proper turn. But this is good to be able to see the detail, get a good idea of what we're doing here. Okay. So, let's go ahead and take a look at our production then. That's what I'll go ahead and take a look at. So, production charts. Okay, yep, you can see that these are now active because we actually do have things occurring now. Production has taken place from the first turn into the second turn, which is excellent. So, resources used. Okay. What I want to go ahead and see then. All pools. Active pools. Okay. Look at Germany. We might have actually captured some equipment. I don't imagine we would have captured much, if anything. Oh, we do have our chassis down here. Yeah, so we have 37 here. We have capacity built. I do want to find out if we can actually change the chassis and use them for different models. I'm going to have to look and see if I can find that. That would be awesome. Okay. Alright, let's see. What I want to go ahead and take a look at, as we did have all of the Junkers 88As actually utilised in the two 1,000 kilogram bombs, and that did have a higher level of ammunition, well, also requirements, and I'd imagine that is going to translate into supply. So this is production. Can I see usage? Just highlighting the FBDs, but no, these are the labour detachments. Obviously, they've been deployed, so that's good to see there. Excellent. A lot has gone into the turn summary. I'm really happy about that. Really quite nice. Okay. What I want to do then? We only have a few minutes left, unfortunately. So do let me know if you guys have any questions or anything you'd like to see before I do have to bring the stream to an end. And then I can hopefully try and answer that question for you. Try and show you what you want to see. I believe we only have 3 minutes, unfortunately. That's gone pretty quick, actually. Let's see. I do want to take a closer look into logistics. Let's see, if I go ahead and press on 8 here, what I'm going to do is actually hide this for the time being. Right, okay, depot. Right, now we're seeing more details, that's what I want to see. How do I get my brain to stop hurting? I like that. That's excellent. Okay. Is this showing me the individual hex or just in total? No, that should show me in total, but that's really good information to have there. Okay. Yeah, the UI is really good, actually. It feels really modern, and I know I've said that before, but that's just how it feels there. Okay. Toggle roads. Yep. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I didn't notice that. Oh, that's awesome. Look at that, guys. So we can actually see the dates that these cities were captured, then I think recaptured by the Soviets. That's impressive. That's some real nice attention to detail. I like that. That's cool. Wow. What if we go ahead and take a look at Moscow? I mean, Oh, is that... I imagine that's obviously part of Moscow. Also see beyond that, no capture dates. So that's really impressive. So we can actually see the Axis advance like this, in a way. That's really cool. Cool. As I said. Right. So we did have a unit transfer, didn't we? So these units have arrived here. Yep, there we go. We do have our Stug battery here. So this was the Stug battery that we actually had moved from the west, actually. So if I go ahead and take it over here. So we have our garrison theatre I don't think I need units in here right now. Oh wow, that's a lot of detail now. You can actually see that. That's cute. I like that. If I go to reserves. Yep, there we are. So we do have our unit that's arrived over here. So that is that one there. You can see that's a battery. That's nice. I am pretty impressed. But unfortunately, we have come to an end. I'm going to go ahead and quickly check. Yep, I've got 2 hours. And we've used them all. I hope you guys have had an excellent time. I do apologise, obviously the game has been new for me as well, so it's been really fun. It's been my first impression as well as the first impression for you guys. I'm quite happy to say that everything's actually worked out well. We've had no crashes, everything's been great. The beauty of this game is you can't do a single turn. I mean, I could probably do a single turn in about 2 hours if I knew exactly what I wanted to do. Oh, how you doing there, Rick? Good to have you, my friend. Indeed. That's my one specialty there, Rooted. I can sound like I know what I'm doing without knowing what I'm doing. So, arigato gozaimasu. Thank you for watching there, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a great one to have you. I'm looking forward to playing it in the future. It's going to be a lot of fun here. Going to be a lot of fun. So, if you have enjoyed this, then do go ahead and check me out on Twitch at XTRG and YouTube at XTRG. Thank you very much here to the developers for being here. Really awesome to have people that are obviously going to be quite knowledgeable. Thank you to Slivering Games for having us, and it was great to see Marco. He looked quite spiffing earlier, didn't he, with that, like, I like the orange little tags on the actual collar look pretty good. Looked really great. So, great things coming up. Until next time, thank you and goodbye.